We are Not a Wheelchair, and we are a relatively newer company founded by Mr. and Mrs. Jerry Rig Everything. We recently moved into a massive 26,000 square foot warehouse. And as we've been settling in, we've noticed there's one giant thing missing before this new house becomes our new home. So today, we're here at Silicone Signs out here in Spanish Fork, Utah, to help us build a massive sign that we can install on the front of our building.
Okay, this is where the production and fabrication part of the sign will start. In here, we'll handle any vinyl that needs to be applied to any acrylic faces.
One problem that complicated our sign is the Not a Wheelchair logo uses black lettering, which doesn't particularly stand out when the sun isn't shining. To fix this, our particular sign will be made by applying a 60/40 perforated vinyl to a large acrylic sheet.
So during the day, the faces of the channel letter will look black, and at night when the light comes through, it will look white.
The 60/40 means that 60% of the vinyl is visible. The remaining 40% is lined with holes that allow light to pass through. After the vinyl is applied to our sheet, it's moved over to a large CNC machine where it's nailed down and programmed to cut out our specific design, which in this particular case is the lettering used in our Not a Wheelchair logo. Fun fact, the earliest signs date all the way back to 3000 BC during the Roman and Greek era. Although back then the only information needed were images rather than text, since most people were actually illiterate. As you know, not much has changed in the last 5,000 years, but we're still going to use text for our sign anyway. After the acrylic letters are fully cut out, it moves on to what's called a trim capping stage. Gemini Gem Trim is applied to the sides of the letters, which are then chemically bonded and sealed together using acrylic bonding agents. This gem trim, after it's applied, allows the acrylic letters to act like a lid, which will cover the aluminum body. Yeah, that just kind of seals it on the outside
Seals it on the outside, and it just gives it some added hold. If you put this on your hand, it won't feel sticky, but if you put it on the acrylic, it will. It'll chemically bond them together. It's just liquid. It just feels like water.
After our lids are complete, the same design files that were used to cut out the faceplates are then sent up to a channel bender. This channel bender bends and notches aluminum sheets into the same shape and size of our acrylic faceplates. These aluminum sheets will act as the body of our design, giving our sign that added 3D depth that looks so good on the side of a building, while also serving as a protective barrier for the lights and electronics that will be living inside.
So we've got the acrylic with the vinyl on it, and we've got the acrylic trim cap form-fitted and glued, so it will always hold that form. We'll put it over the aluminum channel letter just like that. The LEDs and all the wiring will be inside of this aluminum can, and the LED lighting will shine out through this vinyl so that at night the black looks white. It's PVC with like an aluminum skin, so it just makes it kind of rigid. We'll staple it to the back so you can see where it's notched all of it. Put the LEDs inside, and this wire will be what goes into the building to the electrical.
After the aluminum is bent and the back plate is stapled on, the LEDs are put in place. And once we follow that process for the rest of the sign, it's ready to be installed on our building. I had to look this up, but the average lifespan of an LED is about 50,000 hours, which would hypothetically run for more than 5 years if it runs continuously. That should be more than enough for our purposes, but if there are any issues with any of the electronics, it's easily accessible from the front with our acrylic faceplate design. And just like that, it's actually looking pretty great. And now our house is starting to feel a little more like a home. We're still hard at work prepping the rest of our facility, and we're excited to bring you guys along. Now, as a company, we don't have an official outro yet, so I'm gonna do my very best Jerry Rig Everything impression. Thanks a ton for watching, and we'll see you around.